Hi guys, this is Stephanie from Black Bear Falls Cleaning Services, and today I want to make a brief video about what to look for when you are looking to hire a residential cleaning service to come clean your home. And I just want to go over a few topics that would be very helpful and things you should be looking out for when deciding on who to have clean your house. So first off, I want you to realize that there is a difference between a cleaning service company and an individual house cleaner. And the main difference is typically between these two is you'll be hiring one single cleaner. You work directly with them. You are the one telling them what you want done, and they're just an individual. A lot of times they will not have some of the specifications and criteria that a company would have, and they will probably charge quite differently as well because of those criteria. So that doesn't mean an individual house cleaner is bad, but it just depends on what you're looking for and what your expectations are. There are many great individual house cleaners. You just have to do your due diligence when hiring somebody to clean your home. So when looking at a cleaning company or even an individual house cleaner, you want to make sure that they are both bonded and insured. And a lot of people don't know what bonding means. Bonding simply means that if, heaven forbid, something went missing in your house, it got stolen, a bond ensures that you immediately get the money to cover the loss of that item. So say, again, this would hopefully never happen, but say one of my cleaners stole a TV and you're like, hey Stephanie, my TV was stolen, and you can show that that happened. I would immediately have that money to give you to replace that from the bonding company. I would then have to go pay that bonding company the money, but it means that you, the homeowner, would be protected and have your money immediately. And the other topic is insurance, and there are a lot of insurance that we have to pay for as a company that people don't necessarily understand or are aware of, but those, briefly to go over it, would be things like workers' comp insurance. As a company, I'm required to have workers' comp so that if something happened to one of my cleaners, they would be covered and protected. And then there is general liability and damage insurance. So if something were to be broken in your house, or somebody got hurt in your house, or any number of things, we have that insurance to cover it. So you want to make sure that when you're hiring a company or a cleaner, they have those things and could show you if you asked as well and prove that they have those things. If you don't have those things, and for example, an individual house cleaner were to get hurt on your property, things get muddy really quickly about who is to cover them and protect them in that case, because you are really a domestic employer as opposed to hiring, a contractor like me who would come in and provide all that insurance for you. So that's going to be a big difference between the two when it comes to insurance and bonding. Next is, do the cleaners bring the tools and supplies? So if you are to supply all of the cleaning tools and supplies, things like disinfectant sprays, glass cleaning sprays, vacuum, scrub brushes, etc., all the things that you would need to properly clean a house, are you going to be supplying that, or is the cleaning company? And I've seen it done both ways, where the cleaner shows up, they use all of your tools and supplies and leave them at your house, or they bring everything, or there is a hybrid. For example, what we do is we bring all of the tools and supplies, and the only things we ask a client to provide is a toilet brush and a vacuum cleaner. We can provide those things, but when it comes to cross-contamination, we would prefer to use the clients, but again, we could provide those. It doesn't make us wrong or right, but it does influence pricing as well, whereas if somebody is using your tools and supplies, you could expect potentially a lower price on that, but not always. It just depends on the company. The main reasons I like to provide it is that I can train my cleaners to use our specific tools and supplies so that nothing gets damaged because they're using a cleaning product that they're not familiar with. And that way we can just ensure that we know how to use everything that we're bringing into your house. So that's another topic you should explore when looking at a cleaning company to hire. The next thing I want to talk about is knowing exactly what's going to be done prior to the cleaning occurring. So this is really important. You need to make sure you know exactly what is going to be done before the cleaning, because expectations need to be set on both sides. What we do to do this is we have checklists that I send to somebody before we clean. So if there's any questions that arise on what tasks will be performed, it's handled before the cleaning. Because if we come in, do all the normal tasks that we know to do, and you're not aware of that, you may ask, well, why wasn't this done, etc., etc. Just, we always want to have clear expectations prior to the cleaning, so everybody comes away from it very happy. So before you hire a cleaning company, ask exactly what will be done, and make sure it gets specific, because there are so many nuances to each home. You need to make sure that what you expect and what the cleaner is going to provide match. And if they don't, that needs to be hashed out prior to the cleaning. Otherwise, things can get confusing, and people can clash if expectations are not meeting. So make sure you know exactly what's going to be performed before they come into your house. Next is when it comes to payment, how do they accept payment? And make sure it's a way that's convenient to you. If you have to send a check in the mail every time, or even leave a check prior, that may be extremely convenient to you, or maybe it's not. I know a lot of individual house cleaners and cleaning companies, they will not perform the service unless there is a check waiting on the counter. Where for us, we typically invoice after the cleaning, and you can pay with card right from the invoice, or you can pay with bank transfer, or send a check if that's what you prefer. But whatever is most convenient to you. If you love paying with card and they only accept check, that might be a deal breaker. You may want a company that can only accept check or cash or credit card. I would suggest not leaving cash. Personally, that's just my preference. I don't want my cleaners having to deal with any of the finances or worry about having to have money on them. I would much prefer it to just be handled with me in the office, or one of my office staff to be doing the invoicing and dealing with that, just so the cleaners don't have to interact with the money at all, and they don't have to worry about, losing a check perhaps, or losing cash that was left. So make sure you're aware of how payment can be handled prior to the appointment. Next thing is, how does a company handle a complaint? And when it comes to satisfaction guarantees and everything. Oftentimes with an individual house cleaner, you won't necessarily have any type of satisfaction guarantee or insurance that if you are unhappy with something, it's going to get fixed. So prior to deciding on a cleaning company, take a look at how they guarantee their work. Is it a money back guarantee? Is it a satisfaction guarantee where they say that they will come back and fix the issue? What we have done is, if an issue arises and you're not 100% happy, we will gladly come back and fix that area. That way, everybody is happy with the cleaning, and it's not necessarily a money thing then. It's a satisfaction. We want the job done right. So again, make sure if you were to be unhappy, how is that going to be handled? Next thing, sorry, I'm just looking at my list. How does the company or individual conduct themselves online? In the day of social media, you need to be checking these companies out and the individual out prior to letting them in your home. So take a look at their Facebook, their Instagram, their Yelp pages, their Google reviews. Look at all of that and see how are they interacting with customers. If they were to get a negative review, how did they react to that? Was it in a very professional manner, or was it in a not professional manner at all? I'm sure we've all seen where a company did not handle themselves. And coming from a company, sometimes when you get a bad review and you feel it's very unfounded, it's hard not to defend yourself and get defensive in that manner. But again, we're professionals, we must act in that way. So take a look at how they've handled that. Take a look at just if it is an individual house cleaner, look at their Facebook page. I mean, that's what it's there for. That should be representing how they are as a person. And if that gives you any, uncomfortable feelings, or you feel that they are not handling themselves online in a professional manner, that should be a red flag to you. So take a look at, the individual's Facebook page. Take a look at the company's Facebook page, all of their reviews online. Read through those thoroughly. See if there is a lot of linking things. If you're seeing the words professional a lot, quick, efficient, thorough, cheerful, if those are the things you're seeing a lot, you can have a good gauge of what kind of company they are or what kind of person they are and how they conduct their business. If there isn't a lot of reviews, that's not necessarily a bad thing. However, I would be much more apt to look at a company with a lot of positive reviews, and are they recent reviews too? If all you can find is information 4 years ago, that's a little bit of a red flag too. So take a look at that. I mean, we've all used services online or in person based on what we can see online. So just use your sleuthing skills again to look in the background. How active are they online? How are they conducting themselves? Because that all really points to what kind of company they are and how your service is going to be and how they're going to conduct themselves throughout your interactions and relationship. Next is if the company can accommodate specific requests. So this could be something like if they do XYZ and you want ABC done, can they do that? If you every time want your oven cleaned, can they do that? I've never had anybody request that every single time, but if that's something that you want, can they do it? And is that a deal breaker if they can't do something? I'll give you an example. Right now, we do not do any high up windows or any exterior window cleaning. We will do windows upon request if a customer wants that up to a certain height. And that all has to do with the workers' comp insurance. Things get drastically different once you start going high up or on ladders. So if somebody really, really wanted every window cleaned inside and out every time we cleaned, we're not the company for them, and it's okay. There is a company out there for them, but being clear and never promising something that you cannot do. And again, it's all about those expectations and managing that. So make sure that whatever you are looking for in a cleaning company, those tasks and services will be performed. Or if you really, really, really want everything bleached and disinfected with bleach, for example, every visit, we wouldn't be the cleaning company for you because we don't use bleach because it's highly damaging and accidents happen. People can spill bleach on carpets, and I just don't want my cleaners inhaling that all day long. I don't think it's healthy. So we wouldn't be the company for you. And, really making sure that, what you expect and what the company is going to do is matching up prior so that you are happy after the fact. So yeah, those are the big things. You can really get a feel for what a company is like by looking at them online. And if they don't have any online